Hello and welcome to FPL Mate, your best mate for fantasy Premier League content for the 2023-24 season. My name is Dan and we are back with our regularly scheduled FPL content, this time for Game Week 5. Starting off with a tier list. So FPL is finally going to be back in just a few days' time. If you're excited for the return, make sure you drop a like and do subscribe if you're new around here. Let's do this tier list. So, I know it's been a while, but in case you forgot, we have got 5 categories on screen. Must-buys, great transfers, good transfers, optionals, and avoids. We've got the 30 most popular players transferred in at time of recording, and we're going to rank them, basically, to see how good they are. And remember, guys, we are ranking the transfers, not the ability of the player. So, how good is this as a transfer for you guys to use in your FPL team right now? And we're going to start off with the 30th most popular transfer in this game week so far, and that is Gabriel Jesus. And I'm going to put him straight in at good transfer. I feel like a good, strong, solid start here. I feel like he's a really nice differential. Only around 2% of FPL managers own him right now. He plays Everton next, and I feel like he is going to finally get his regular starts. Now he's finally fit and available. A few minutes off the bench, including a goal against Manchester United. That was very impressive. I think he is going to be back officially with a bang, hopefully, as well, against 3 really nice fixtures in the next 3. So, Jesus, I like this pick a lot. I think it's a good transfer. Could even be tempted to put it into a great transfer. I really, really like this one. Edison's going to come in at optional. I feel like he is a little bit expensive at 5.6, but you should get semi-regular clean sheets from him in the long term. I feel like he's an okay long-term goalkeeper to just hold on to and get those points. Nothing too exciting there, though, really, and he's not going to get you save points, not going to get you bonus points. So if you don't think Manchester City are going to keep clean sheets, then Edison is going to be useless to you. Chilwell up next. I still feel like he's a good transfer if you haven't got him already. I know Chelsea have maybe not been as good as we hoped that they would be, but Chilwell is still playing in some really dangerous areas on the football pitch at the moment. So I'm still happy to put him in a good transfer. Certainly if you have him already, you would be looking to keep him. Next up, Alisson. Not really massively convinced by this as a goalkeeper pick. I'm still not convinced by Liverpool defensively. I feel like the reason why a lot of people are bringing in Alisson is because he's one of the few goalkeepers to keep a clean sheet in Game Week 4, sorry. It was a difficult game week 4. There wasn't a lot of clean sheets going around. Alisson was one of them, but for the price you pay for him, I wouldn't expect too many clean sheet points. And if you're just looking for save points, you can get access to save points quite easily for players who are a little bit cheaper. So maybe leave that Liverpool slot open for other maybe attacking players in your team. Next up, Kyle Walker. I guess he goes in optional. He's been pretty nailed on so far, 90 minutes in every game. But with Champions League on the horizon, will that change? If you are willing to take that risk on a player like Kyle Walker, then go for it. Let's stick him in the optional category there. Don't expect too many attacking returns though, because he's just not really playing in a way that gets many attacking returns. Walker hasn't done for years, to be fair. He's kind of been a clean sheet guy, but not much more. And he's up to 5.2 million as well. Next up, Erling Haaland. He's going to be in must buy. I don't think we need to spend too much time on that one. I can't believe there are people who still don't have him to a point where he's still one of the most popular transfers in this week. That means there must be teams that don't have him. If you're one of the few people without Erling Haaland, by the way, guys, let me know in the comments and tell me why. Tell me why. Why do you not have Haaland in your team? You are crazy. Next up, Kaoru Mitoma up against Newcastle next. Oh, wait, Manchester United next, sorry. It's a difficult fixture-ish, but I still feel like maybe it's an okay time to attack Manchester United. It's just a circus over there at that club at the moment. Maybe they could be vulnerable, so you know what? Don't mind this too much. Bournemouth after that, but the fixtures after those two are not amazing. So I feel like Mitoma is maybe optional to good transfer. I'm not massively sure I would be going for him personally, but I certainly see the appeal to a degree. So I'm going to put him high optional. We're going to put him there for now. Maybe we'll move him in a bit. Isak, let's put him in somewhere. Where would we put him? I guess it's like not such a bad transfer, really. Brentford up next. It's an okay fixture, but not a great fixture. Isak still barely scraping by on 60 minutes per game, and he hasn't really had any returns really since the opening game, hasn't he? He's not been doing too well for attacking returns. Could it be Wilson time at Newcastle? Maybe. I'm going to put him at not optional because I am aware that Newcastle's fixtures are about to get a lot better, but I'm still not fully convinced by this Isak Wilson potential rotation there. The amount of minutes that Isak is getting as well, it's just not filling me with joy. But it could definitely be an interesting player to go for. So I definitely think it's an option. Just not 100% convinced it's the right way to go. Next up, Cameron Archer. If you're on a wild card, yeah, why not? Wouldn't be using him as a free transfer necessarily unless you're trying to free up some budget. If you're on a wild card or you're trying to free up some budget or, you know, trying to downgrade a forward, then I guess that's fine. So there are some ways where he would be a good option. He's definitely the best 4.5 million forward to go for. I'll put it that way. Vicario, kind of optional again, maybe going to get some save points, but still we're not seeing Spurs massively convinced defensively. They're still conceding a lot of chances, but Vicario is just doing really, really well. So let's slot him in the optional category as well. Raheem Sterling, amazing fixtures still. I feel like, yes, he's no longer like a must-buy or a great transfer like perhaps he was last week, but I don't think it's time to give up on him yet. I feel like he is somewhere between optional and good transfer. I still feel like there's some positive signs that we've seen from Sterling. I know he blanked against Forest. A lot of people were disappointed, but he could have easily got FPL points in that game, so I wouldn't feel too disheartened when we're looking for future game week points. So Sterling, still a good transfer. Still think he's definitely a player you could consider going for if you haven't done already. Next up, Anderson, just a pretty boring transfer, really. You're going to get occasional clean sheets from Crystal Palace, I guess, but that's pretty much it. Anderson might get the occasional header goal as well. Very rarely, maybe a few times per season. It's not a transfer that fills me with life, so we'll just put it in optional. It's fine, but I don't know if I would do it personally. Saliba, you could do against Everton next. Clean sheet potential there, but again, not a great deal of attacking potential, and yeah, I don't know if I would want to spend 5.2 on a player who's really only going to get clean sheets. Saliba just doesn't have attacking potential. I know we got an assist in game week 1, but it's not going to happen very often, believe me. Let's slot him in optional, I guess. Although, to be honest, would I be buying him? Probably not, but I guess it's okay. Nathan Ake, I'm going to put him in avoid. We need to fill up this avoid section. Ake, obviously the top scoring Manchester City defender of last game week, but he is super rotation risk. There are so many defenders, kind of particularly on that left-hand side of the defence at the moment. We've got Ake, we've got Gavardio, we've got Diaz in there as well. John Stones is going to be back very soon. There's lots of different ways that Ake could find himself actually out of the team. Akanji as well, Walker. I mean, we can go on. Rico Lewis. There's so many defenders right now, and I feel like Ake is one of the players who has the most competition for his place at the moment. So I'm going to put him in avoid. He could play some games, don't get me wrong, but he's not going to play enough games that warrants a transfer, warrants bringing him in. If you're on a wild card, I still probably wouldn't go for him. I guess I would see the appeal, but yeah, not really. I just think Ake is just going to cause you too many headaches, too much drama in future game weeks. Leno, I like it. Yeah, if I'm going to go for a goalkeeper right now, it's probably going to be Leno. So I'm going to put him in good transfer. I'm thinking about removing Johnston because I feel like his time as the Crystal Palace first choice goalkeeper is limited. Those of you guys who own Pickford probably thinking a similar thing. Leno, not going to get that many clean sheets, but you're going to get an insane amount of save points. And we've got some really nice fixtures for Leno as well. So, genuinely, something to consider. I would consider Leno as a goalkeeper. He's probably my favourite 4.5 right now. There really is not much going on. Next up, Bowen, Manchester City next. I will try and stay true to my usual rule. I know there's often exceptions, but I'm not going to use an exception this time. When your player is about to play against Man City, that is the worst time to bring them in. So, yeah, I don't really fancy any West Ham players this game week. If you want to wait another game week after the Man City game is out the way and then bring in some of these West Ham players, fair enough. I just don't think now is the time to do it. Just wait one more week. Whoever you've got now, I'm sure they've got just as much chance of scoring against whoever they're playing as, you know, West Ham against literally the best defence in the league. Bowen, though, in general, I like the player. So remember, I'm not saying avoid the player entirely for the rest of the season. I'm just saying, as a transfer for Game Week 5, I don't like it. In the future, I think Bowen is going to come back into the conversation a lot. Just not yet. Not now. But if it's Stupinian, would I be buying him now? Maybe. I'm going to put him alongside Mitoma with the Brighton lads. You could go for him if you wanted to. It might be a little bit too late to jump on the Stupinian bandwagon, but it might be okay. I'm not sure. Manchester United up next, but then Bournemouth after that could be pretty nice. But then after that, the fixtures look pretty bad for Brighton all the way up until Game Week 10. So it could be that waiting till Game Week 10 might actually be the better solution there for you. It's going to be kind of up to you. I'm going to put Ward-Prowse in the avoid section next to Bowen, and the same with Areola, I think. The only way I would buy Areola is if I was on a wild card right now, or I really just wanted to save some budget maybe. So I guess for that reason, maybe he goes in optional. There are some circumstances where you could get Areola, but in general, horrible fixtures. I think Turner probably outscores him over the next few game weeks, to be honest. Turner, I do think, will be continuing on as the Nottingham Forest first choice goalkeeper. I've not heard great things about this older Benfica goalkeeper. Not heard great things at all, really. So it could be that Turner holds his place. He's done quite well so far, so I feel like we should be maybe having a bit more faith in Turner over Areola over the next few game weeks at least, because Areola has some horrible, horrible fixtures. You know, we've got the likes of Man City in there, Liverpool in there. It's not ideal as a fixture run, and I feel like you're probably not going to actually want to play Areola that often. Maybe you will actually bench him a lot of the time. Doesn't really seem to be worth a transfer to me. Malo Gusto, he's going to go straight to the bottom of the pile for avoids. Yes, we could get a clean sheet against Bournemouth for Chelsea, but Reece James is back, basically. He's probably... Reece James could start in game week 5, and then Gusto's just going to be out of the team again. Now, maybe James gets injured again, and then Gusto becomes like an option again, but right now, it's not a good time. Even if you can squeeze one more game week out of Gusto, it's going to be that's going to be it, and then it's going to be Reece James back again. It's just a terrible time to buy Gusto. You missed the boat on this one, I'm afraid, guys. If you don't own him already, you missed the boat, guys. You missed the boat. Maybe there'll be another boat in the future. It's not going to be today. Next up, Taiwo Awoniyi. Oh, wow. I like this transfer a lot. I know he's playing Man City, not this week, but the following week. It's a tough one. Wait, that's not true at all. He doesn't play Man City next week, does he? Yes, he does. Anyway, yeah, that's the problem, isn't it, with these Nottingham Forest players. They just still don't have a good run of fixtures. We need to put him somewhere. We've got a nice fixture up next against Burnley, and I would want to own him for that fixture. I think that's a really good opportunity for him. But, yeah, I feel like he's a good transfer. He's been so reliable, hasn't he? So consistent. Let's put him in good transfer. I do think I prefer Gabriel Jesus, though. So if we're talking about these differential strikers, differential forwards to go for, I'm leaning towards Jesus over Awoniyi right now. So let's put it like that. We do need to start putting some players in great transfers, but we're going to get there. We've got a lot of players left to go, kind of. Darwin up next. Optional, probably. A little bit risky, I guess, but he's been doing pretty well last couple of games. So let's put him alongside some of these Chelsea guys. I feel like he could be a fairly decent transfer. I don't mind this one. I think it's a nice, again, slightly differential player to go for. Decent little pick there. Brian Mbeumo is pretty much always a great transfer. He has got Newcastle up next, though, for that reason, I feel like if you are in the market for a brand new Mbeumo, I feel like you could maybe wait one more game week before going for him if you wanted to. You don't have to jump on him this week. After that, you probably do. So, yeah, Mbeumo, definitely a great transfer, a good transfer to go for, a great transfer in general, but I feel like you could wait one more week if you wanted to. Matty Cash, great transfer, super attacking right now, isn't he? He's playing like the most attacking player on the entire pitch for Aston Villa right now, and we've got some good fixtures coming up as well. Crystal Palace up next, definitely an opportunity for a clean sheet there for Aston Villa, hopefully getting back to business after that defeat against Liverpool, conceding a few goals there. But Liverpool are a tough team, they're a really good attack, so you can't really be too surprised by that. But Cash is back on the menu. Alongside Udogie, I feel like he is probably a good transfer. The only problem is we have got Arsenal and Liverpool after this week for Udogie, so for that reason, yeah, you're going to get a clean sheet against Sheffield United. So I do feel like he is he's a decent transfer to go for the Sheffield United game, but he's another one of those players where you could actually just wait a couple of game weeks and then wait till Spurs' fixtures look a little bit better. They play lots of Luton and Fulham after these tough fixtures against at the likes of Arsenal and Liverpool. So, yeah, you could go for him right now. I don't think you have to. If you're on a wild card, I would perhaps go for him. But if you're not, it's kind of up there. It's up in the air a little bit. Evan Ferguson, until we know his injury status, he's going in a void, unfortunately. I'm sure we will get some news by the end of this week when press conferences come out. But at time of recording, I have to put Ferguson in the avoid section just until we know if he's going to be available for game week 5 or not. It's not exactly the easiest fixture in the world against Manchester United either. So right now, I'm just saying avoid, but that could change. That could change by the end of the week. So keep an eye on that one. If you're watching this later on in the week and Ferguson has been declared fit, then obviously you can adjust Ferguson probably to an optional, maybe even a good transfer, to be fair. Romero, still do not like him compared to Udogie, so I'm going to slap him in a void. If you're going to go for one or the other, go for Udogie. If you are going to go for both, then fair enough, maybe you could go for Romero. Yes, Romero's got a couple of headed goals. He's scored 2 goals so far this season in 4 matches, but he's not going to score a goal every other game for the rest of the season, guys. It's just not going to happen. Like, there is no way. Romero, I was looking up the numbers. He has averaged, even after his little flurry of goals at the start of the season, he averages throughout his career 1 goal every 18 games. That is not very high at all, really, is it? And I don't think he is suddenly like a goal-scoring player, is he? Yes, he's got a couple of Chatamy set-piece goals, but we're not gonna get too much more than that. We might get a couple more this season, but even that would be by far his best goal-scoring season ever. I mean, he's already matched like 2 goals. He's never even done that for Spurs. So yeah, crazy stuff. Maddison, he's going to go in. Great transfer. Really, really like this pick. Yeah, go for Maddison if you don't have him already. I think he's going to do really well against Sheffield United. I really do. And we've got, a game against Liverpool. I think that's going to be good for him. Even Arsenal could be good for him after that. Luton, Fulham. It's going to be a really good run for those Spurs attackers. It's a good time to go for them. James Alvarez. Let's call him James Alvarez, even though his name's Julian. Let's slap him in, I think, somewhere between good transfer and great transfer. He is kind of playing in those midfield positions, but he looked dangerous. Really, really dangerous. Maybe even my favourite forward to go for right now outside of Erling Haaland. So for that reason, I'm going to put him in great transfer. There you go. He's in there. Expecting good things from him against West Ham next and beyond that as well. And finally, one more player. It's Heung-min Son. Where is he going to go? Avoid? No. Optional? No. Good transfer? No. He's going to go with great transfer. I would put him kind of alongside Maddison. I like this. Against Sheffield United, I don't know if it's going to be an amazing opportunity for Son, because Sheffield United should sit a little bit deeper and won't leave as much space in behind where Son really does thrive. But after that, we've got Arsenal, we've got Liverpool. Like, these are going to be good opportunities for counter-attacking football. So I feel like over the next 5 game weeks, Son could do really well. Expected him to continue to play as the central striker. Even if he only plays central striker 70-80% of the time, it's going to be well worth it. Potentially on penalties as well. He's a great transfer, and outside of Erling Haaland, he's probably my favourite transfer to go for. So there we go, guys. That is going to be the tier list. I'm pretty happy with that, I think. So basically, if you haven't got Erling Haaland, buy him. Aside from that, my favourite transfers are Son, Maddison, Cash, and Julian Alvarez, or James Alvarez, as we're calling him now. We got some like Mbumo, Leno, Jesus, these kind of players I kind of like as well, but I really would be focusing, if you want to buy a transfer, use a transfer right now, if you can get a Son, Maddison, Cash, or Alvarez, those would be the players I would be most targeting this game week. Of course, those players in a void I would not be going for, mostly because they're either rotation risk, too expensive, there are better options in their same position, injured, or they're just playing a horror fixture against Man City, which is never a good thing. There we go, guys. That is the tier list for Game Week 5. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you did enjoy this one, drop a like, do subscribe if you're new around here, and don't forget, we have got some more Game Week 5 content already on the channel, so we have been uploading a little bit over the break. So if you want to check out a video here, which is probably going to be a Game Week 5 video, feel free to go check that out if you want more FPL content. FPL is almost back. We are in the run-in now. Looking forward to it. But aside from that, thank you so much for watching. Once again, guys, and I will see you later, mates.